Guys, we got a good show for you today. We have Braeden Moore. He goes to CPA. He has offers from schools like Rutgers, Nebraska, Wisconsin, name a few. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course.
We always kind of start out with this question because, everyone comes from different backgrounds and how they got into their, sports. How did you get into basketball yourself specifically?
Well, my dad played college basketball, so I kind of followed after him. He played at Point Loma, Nazarene University, top D2 school, and probably top D2 school right now out there. But anyway, so I kind of picked up the ball around 6'7". It's typical. Just kind of went through the stages of basketball. Starting off as like a little kid and developing. Eventually got into AAU when I was around, I'm gonna say 11 or 12, and then I moved to Tennessee. I was in California that whole time. So around like 12, 11, I moved to Tennessee and been here since. So.
Yeah. Was there like a moment when you were playing, you're like, this is the sport for me, or is it just kind of just in that grind where it's like, yeah.
I think there wasn't an exact moment that I can remember, but I just remember like loving just being in a gym, just shooting the ball and just kind of, I knew I had a passion for it. And it was something I just picked up and just loved and started, just grinding with it. And that's kind of just how it came. So,
Yeah. A lot of people help out the show. We were all like class of 21s. We committed without visiting schools and different things like that. You're 22, so you're getting to start, visit some of these schools and meet
right.
with coach and stuff. You visited Wisconsin. I think you're going to Rutgers and Nebraska. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I fly out to Nebraska tomorrow, and then I get back Sunday, and then Monday I leave and go to Rutgers. So I got back to back. So.
Yeah, how's the recruiting process been? I imagine it was a lot of Zoom. What was it like for you so far?
Yeah, early on, it really progressed into like, yeah, I really went from like low offers to just, all the way up to the top. It's kind of how it went for me, which is not like many other people, and that was just a blessing. But
Yeah.
it was a lot of phone calls, a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of texting, tons of communication with multiple schools, and there still are to this day, and so. But yeah, there was a stretch where every night we had multiple Zooms. It was a little crazy. So
Yeah.
my dad really helped with that though. So.
Yeah. So, you talked about, going on these visits and you were at Wisconsin. What's a typical visit like? Is there like a kind of schedule you see with it? What's it like?
Yeah. So they usually give you an itinerary, and then they would trying to think of it, like, so basically you get in, you check into your hotel room, and then you go eat with the team usually, or do whatever they have planned for you Friday night. Then you obviously get your dinners in, you meet with the team, you get time to hang with the team, you time to hang with the staff alone, obviously the photo shoot. I will be going through workouts at Nebraska and Rutgers, and then at Wisconsin I did pickup. So I don't know if that's typical, but I'd asked for it. So both at all schools, I'd asked to work out or do something with them, and they said, "Yeah, sure, of course." But trying to think, obviously they load the room with whatever, stuff like that. I'm trying to think if anything that was missing. Obviously, they do tour the campus. I mean, they try to show you as much as they can in the 3-day span, that pretty much. So, yeah, basically. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Everyone's kind of got a different story for it. And they're normally sometimes really funny or, just the most random times. What was it like when you got your first offer? Where were you at? What were you doing?
Let me see. So I had just got off a pretty long Zoom call. It was like 45 minutes. And I'm trying to I think I was like playing, I got on the Xbox and I was like chilling on my phone or something like that.
Yeah.
And my dad calls me. He goes, "Hey, I just got off the phone with the head coach of UC Davis," which is who I first got offered by. And he was like, he didn't like say it directly, but he had told my dad that he had offered me, and it kind of was like, what? Like, oh my gosh. And I remember I was like jumping, ecstatic, hugs and all that sort of stuff with my parents and all that. But so same time, it was just cool because when you work really hard for years and years and years, and you see other people gain offers at a really young age, which isn't always the real thing, but it kind of motivates you. And so anyway, that was really exciting. But
Yeah, it's always really cool. For me, when I was at the time game recruiting stuff, I was looking a lot like the system, how they run, and see where I'd fit in. Is that a big thing for you, or and everything?
yeah, for sure. That's I mean, I'm taking 3 visits to Big Ten schools, if that says anything. So and I live in the South, so yeah, it definitely is. But at the same time, like, we're just looking for the right fit and culture.
Yeah.
Style play is obviously a big key, because you don't want to go somewhere where they don't know how to use you. And I'm obviously I'm 6'8", and I'm probably a little bit going a little taller than that, but I can really shoot the ball at a really high rate. So you kind of want to go to a school that knows how to use that. You don't necessarily, and so every school says the same thing, like, oh yeah, we know how to use you. And so it's really deep, digging deep into it. And so anyway, but yeah, so it's kind of how we play it. So anyway.
Yeah, no, things happen for a reason. You always go to that school or something, it's meant to be for something, at that point in your life. I was looking at your high school team. You're talking about them a little bit. You guys went 27-5. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys lose in the state title game?
Yep, we did. That was tough.
Yeah.
That was a really tough one.
Yeah. How do you think the season went? You guys, I saw, played 32 games. That's one of the most anywhere in the country. How do you think the season went for you as a player and your team?
Yeah. Wait, say the question. I cut out for a second.
Oh, I said, how do you think the season went for you individually and then as a team?
I thought it went pretty well. Right beginning before the postseason, I got hurt on like a freak accident in a game. I fallen off someone's back, and I landed into like a little, I don't know what to say, like a little, like, how they have a stage? It was like a stage. When it was a wooden stage, I fell right into it. It was really close to the basket. So I got hurt. I hurt my back. So that was like 1 or 2 games before the state final. So I was kind of hurting a little bit, but I thought, throughout the season, I did really well. I was pretty consistent. And we had just, our league, we just dominated. There wasn't anyone who could really play with us, except like the team we lost to, who's not really they're not in my district, but they're in our region. So, not anymore. We bumped up, but so anyway, but yeah, it was a great season. I definitely grew super close with the team, more than I had ever had in the past years. As soon as when you get older, that's kind of how it is. But yeah, it was a really fun year. It was really, we probably would have played more games because of COVID. Like, there were 4 or 5 games that got canceled. So let's just imagine how many we've been playing, like 37, something like that. So anyway, almost 40 games, which is a lot. So, but it was a ton of fun, and yeah, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know a lot of people are struggling to get rhythm. I know one guy, he said he had a month between games, and stuff. So that's awesome to hear it. You guys got, play so much. Your program's been successful over the years. What are you guys working on in the off season and everything? And, to make next season, a good year for you?
Yeah, we work at as a team, we work on shooting. I mean, that's all we do. Our practices are just straight up shooting, and then defensive, and then obviously, like, running our sets. So that's basically the 3 things we do. So we don't really focus on any other stuff. But that, last year we were the number 1 shooting team in the state, and I think we were like top 5 in the country, something like that. That's what my coach had said to me, at least I think he said that, but something like that. But anyway, that's kind of what we work on. We just finished team camp last week. Went to some local colleges and high schools and just played against local competition, and we went 18-0. I don't know if you maybe saw that on my Twitter, but anyway, so it was a really fun off season. And obviously I'm working on getting stronger, getting bigger, and just kind of filling into what I have with my body. And so just all that sort of stuff. And obviously skill is a big thing I'm working on too. So we're still working on it. But
yeah, no, you kind of went into like what I was going to ask next is like, in the offseason, you're obviously working right now with the goal of down the line, being the best college player you can be as a freshman going into it. Is a lot of that like setting minor goals, or is there like a bunch of just big goals you set, or how do you work and, get ready for college and as much as
Yeah. It's different mindset. Like when I hadn't had any offers or I had some lower ones, you're always trying to get bigger ones. Or when you don't have any offers, you're always trying to get an offer. So now that I have a lot, obviously there's a few more that I could get, possibly, but I'm not really concerned like that anymore. I'm just focusing on how can I be prepared as soon as I step day one on the campus. And obviously that's why I've been doing workouts on my officials, and just so I can get a vibe of like, okay, well, what do they do and what can I do? So it's kind of like this mutual like, thing I kind of install in my mind. I tell my trainer, he played at Iowa and Lipscomb, and then we get after it. And so I think, coming in, I want to gain much weight, so that'll be a good thing. But I definitely will have to, get stronger, all that sort of stuff I'm kind of working on now. But so I just, now I'm just, trying to perform at the highest level I can for AAU in the next month, and just keep getting better no matter what. So.
No, you and me both, man. I'm playing in the fall. I grew like 10 inches in a year. I'm trying to get stronger, man. It comes at you, you know what I mean? It's like it's crazy. Growing up, did you look up to any like current or former players and model your game after anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I always was a big fan of Katie, and just Kobe Bryant a little bit. And I'm trying to think. Forgetting, I'm blinking right now. I guess Michael Jordan. I love watching Michael Jordan. Just it's awesome. But I would say like right now, the past like year, I really liked watching Corey Kispert at Gonzaga. I think we have a very, very similar way of playing. Obviously, he's more athletic than I am right now, but he, so I think that's how a player I could, eventually develop into. Another player is Jason Tatum and Carmelo. They're kind of similar size. Jason's a little taller than me, but Carmelo is like, he's a little older now, but just the way he shoots it, the way he handles it, I think that I could, eventually, become a player like that in the mid range and sort of, but yeah, so those are people I really focus on, and really try to, follow, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Carmelo's one of the greatest players of all time. If you could play like Carmelo, that'd be a good career. Final like, 3 questions. So when you're not on the court, is there like what do you like doing in your free time?
Yeah, I love hanging with friends. I love just, going out, and doing new things. Obviously, I live in a very fun city in Nashville. So, and I like, just chilling, laying back sometimes, going to the pool, or playing video games, Call of Duty, 2K, so so I'm just a kid, so
Yeah, I saw you went to the Nashville soccer game. I wanted to go because they're new now. What was that like? Is that cool?
It was really cool. I did not expect to have that much of a show. And they said it was 17,000 people there, which is unreal. And so I got really good tickets with some buddies of mine, some friends, and it was a lot of fun. So.
No, yeah. All right. Final 2 questions. We always finish out with these. Over your course of your basketball career, what's the best piece of advice you think you ever heard?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, I'm trying to think like I think Kevin Durant, I don't know if that's advice, but I think like I love that quote he said. It's like hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard or something like that. That's definitely one of my favorite quotes that I've ever heard. But from my coach, just, I think my coach has always told me just be short-term memory, just next play, next play, next play. It's never just, you can't define the whole game off one play, and don't let one play define your whole game. So I would say, little things like that, I would say that's probably one of the things I've really taken and really developed into. So,
yeah. All right. This is the final question I always end off with. It's probably the hardest one. But when your basketball career is over down the line, how do you want people to remember yourself?
Ooh. I want them to remember me as a hard worker, and a really dedicated to what's in front of him, I guess, or me, or
Yeah.
I really want to be an achiever. That's my goal. And just be a great person and be a leader. And that's what I try to do every day when I step in. Actually, I'm in the locker room right now. When I step in the locker room, be a leader every day, and just I want to get back to state. So, and it's that doesn't just protect my high school, that just projects everything. Being a leader can get you anywhere you want. So that's also my goal.
Well, Braeden, we appreciate you coming on, man, giving athletes like you a voice is what we try to do, and helping us out. It means a lot. So thanks, man.
Of course. Thank you.